Hi guys, John the Firearms Instructor, and welcome back to our channel. I'm glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, my name is John Johnson. I own and operate a firearms training facility in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida, which is on the southwest side of Florida. We're between Naples and Tampa. And behind the camera is my oldest son, Johnny. Say hello, John.
Hello.
And we're here today to discuss a topic that we cover a lot in class, or a lot in students here, and it's the first time shooter. This is a person who, and maybe you, are thinking about buying a gun or buying a pistol for home defense and things like that, but you don't know what to do or where to go or what to think of. And we deal with this on a regular basis. And I thought I would cover 5 things I need you to think about before you even pull the trigger, pardon the pun, in regards to buying something. It's very easy to buy the pistol and not know much about it. The gun stores that you go to that aren't training facilities are there to make money. And if you want to buy a gun, they're going to let you buy a gun. And they're going to let you reach that budget marker that you want to be at. And they're going to make their commissions and go on to the next deal. They're not thinking about you in the long run, and I am, because I'm a firearms trainer, and we try to work the 5 things. And the 5 things I want to make sure that you're covering is, there's a lot of mental things we need to think about. There's family we need to discuss. There's research we have to do. There's finding a good instructor. And then there is the try before you buy. And each one of these I'm going to explain to you as we go here. But I think the most important thing to get your head around it and understand it before you even do any kind of thinking about buying a gun. So let's talk about the very first thing I talked about, mentally. Where are you at? Why are you buying? Why are you thinking about buying a gun? This is very important. I get a lot of people that come here that just moved to Florida from some state that the gun laws are so crazy they just got to get a firearm in the home. And they're not thinking it fully through, and they're not figuring out what I need to get. Because they've been banned where they're from, and they get to the gunshine state in the United States of Florida. Florida is one of those places that's very gun friendly, and people just want to buy a gun. They just got to have it because they come from California or New Jersey or one of these places that are very un-gun friendly. And now they get to this state and they go, oh my gosh, how free it feels to buy something. Welcome to Florida. Welcome to the gunshine state. But there's a mental part about this. Am I buying the gun for the right reason? Am I buying it because I have an ex who I'm scared of? Am I buying it because I am living alone, I'm a senior, or anything else like that? Once you get that in your head that you're going to have a loaded firearm in your home, you need to get your head around that and understand it, all right? Number 2 is discuss it with the family. I think this is so important because I've done multiple gun sales with men, and then they bring the gun home and the wife ain't having it. Now, you know, most gun purchases are final. When you buy the gun, you can't return it, guys. So you got to make sure the whole family understands a firearm is going to be in the house. And that includes the kids. You need to get them involved in it. You need to get them to understand how to load it and unload it, and where this gun's going to be, safety purposes of it. You have young kids, putting something up high is not going to be, you got a 3-year-old and you put something up 6 feet or higher, it's going to be out of the children's way. But if you have 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old boys especially are very curious, you cannot slap their hands and say, don't touch it, don't touch it, and don't touch it. You remember when we were kids and someone told us, don't touch it. We had to touch it. So you need to make sure you get the whole family involved. This is a purchase for the whole family, not just for you, all right? Number 3 is you got to do your research, right? Research is very important to figure out what you want to do. Is this a pistol for home defense? Is this a pistol for carry? Is this a pistol, a revolver? Is it a semi-automatic? Do I have the experience and the knowledge I need to understand the difference between each one of these? You could go on YouTube like this and look at a lot of gun reviews. That's awesome. You could go to multiple gun stores in your location and touch and feel a lot of pistols. But it's best off to have a little bit of idea what you want before you go researching, because you could go to a store like our store. We have somewhere between 40 and 60 guns on a regular basis that are in our store that are shootable. So in other words, the student could come in, pick a gun and shoot it and understand if this is the pistol for me. But there are some gun stores that have 1,000 pistols in the store. Talking about confusing. It becomes somewhat of a necessity. Do you know what you're looking for? Where do you do your research? Well, you first and you foremost, you start out with your friends you trust. Whether it be your brother-in-law, well, maybe not your brother-in-law, but you start out with somebody you trust, the preacher, the friends, the family members, your coworkers, someone who's a shooter, and ask them their opinion. What do you think I should get for the family? Now, a lot of times they're not going to be trainers, but they're going to give you what they have at their house. And if majority of the time, if you stick to the name brand products, there's going to be a product or a weapon that's in your budget that will work for you exclusively. So that's important. Now you have mental, you've asked the family, you've done your research. What's the next thing to do? Is I would recommend going to a range or a gun store that you can look at some, touch some, feel some, get them in your hands, find out about them. Now this is real helpful if you bring a piece of paper with you, because they all look the same after a while, and write down what the person that's selling you the pistol, right, has told you about each one, and what's the good, what's the bad, what's the positives, what's the negatives, and weigh them out. Now this is where I always talk about no one can buy you a pair of shoes than you. This is the time that maybe you and your wife or you and your significant other go to the range together and put it in her hand and your hand, right? At that point in time, make sure it fits both of you, because it is about a fit. How does the gun feel in your hand? You may have big mitts, big bear paws, right? And she may have little petite hands. Is she going to like that big gun compared to something a little smaller? It's important that we get both of you guys online with this weapon. Remember, this gun's going to be a home defense, maybe carry for you, but in the long run, the gun's going to be in the home, and everyone needs to be comfortable with it. All right? So now we've done that. Now we need to get that instructor and get that training going. We need to get the training going, because that's the most important thing. And most of the trainers are going to have 5, 6, 7 pistols that they think are the best. They think they're the ones that most of the students shoot really well. For us, it's a Smith & Wesson line, whether it be a Shield Plus, a Shield, the Glock line, whether it be 43, 43X, the Ruger line, the Max, the LC9, whether it be Ruger, Max, Taurus, Glock, it doesn't really matter. Get over there and let the instructor run you through the basics. Grip, stance, trigger control, sight picture, sideline, and shoot each one of this. Try before you buy is so important. We offer it, and most of you are going to find good instructors will offer a try before you buy, because that'll give you the opportunity to shoot the gun before you even put any money down on it. The instruction that you're going to be paid for is well worth its weight in gold, because it's going to get you on the weapon and proper grip and proper stance and proper trigger control. You won't go through that whole problematic thing that most people do. Most people buy a gun, take it to range, and look at it trying to figure out why it's shooting bad. It ain't shooting bad, folks. It's you just shooting bad because you don't have proper grip, you don't have proper stance, you don't have proper trigger control. I hope this video is helping you kind of get to that point. Now we're going to do multiple of these. We're going to get you to the point where you're going to be able to take this video and tag right onto the next one, that now we've decided what pistol we're going to do, and we're going to walk you through that as well. Guys, we really appreciate you being here today. If you like what we're doing, and I think you are, please don't forget to hit that bell icon, that like, and that share button, and it helps us tremendously build our channel. And we're all here for support, and we're all here for knowledge. All right? Until next time, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line of defense. We'll see you, folks.